I remember that day that I got Jacob's diagnosis. And all I could think was, is he ever going to go to prom? Is he ever going to get married? And the whole future just flashed before my face. And it was like all these things that selfishly, as a parent, you always plan. And I just looked at his little face and I thought, where do we go from here?
We have a diagnosis. He's autistic. And I just felt like someone had just punched me in the stomach. My wife and I sort of hugged each other. And Mark, who is very, very sensitive to people's feelings, looked at us and he hugged with us.
You don't know what your child's gonna need and what the future's gonna hold. And autism in itself, the word is terrifying.
You know, what are the limitations? What is he not going to be able to do that I was able to experience in my life, and how much different of a life in that respect is it going to be?
We needed to give ourselves, my husband and I, time to really grieve and mourn and understand and educate ourselves before we could even go out to the world and say, you know, my child has autism.
My son was faced with something called global delay because it was globally that he had delays in all areas. At the moment, I could tell you that I didn't understand what it meant. Or maybe it was me that I didn't want to understand. Because looking back, it was too much information to carry.
It was a surprise to me because, first of all, we didn't know what autism was at that moment. We didn't know what to expect. But one of the things that I do remember telling my wife is that we will do whatever it was in our hands to make the best out of it.
In such a short amount of time, we've seen our kid grow leaps and bounds. What's so special to me about the center is everything's under one roof. You have physicians talking to the different therapists, and it's all designed to increase communication and have everybody be on the same page and do what's specifically targeted for your kid.
Finding out about the center has been like a true unraveling of a beautiful present. And it was like slowly we started trusting a little bit more of our lives to the center. And the more we did that, the more our lives got better. Jacob looks at me and it wasn't like I'd said I love you to him. He just looks at me and he goes, I love you, Mommy. And I looked over at him and I'm like, I didn't know what to say. It was something I never knew I would hear in my lifetime.
They were so encouraging and so kind and enormously understanding that it gave me hope again, and the hope is now turned to reality. He does interact. He will probably live independently, and he's a wonderful child. Mark has a lot of things that he's interested in, but probably the one that's most significant is his culinary skills. He loves to cook, and he makes his own meals every night. Mark would love to have you come over to our house to taste his famous cookies.
When we came to the center, Jair was very limited on his social skills. He was very limited on his muscle tones. He loves swimming and vacuuming and putting vacuums apart. And some people have sent me vacuums to my house to fix, and then they buy him ice cream. So he's already making his profits out of it. I don't want any mother out there or any family to lose hope Because when I came to the center 9 years ago, I was losing that hope that maybe my son wasn't gonna speak, that maybe my son wasn't gonna make it. But every day, the center has shown me that I was wrong.
And not because he has a diagnosis of autism, he can start dreaming. He can dream and he can reach the sky if he wants to.
These are my twin sons, Frankie and Jacob, and they have autism.
These are my boys, Alexander and Lucas.
And they've both been diagnosed with autism.
This is my son, Jair Velasco.
He's 11 years old and he has autism.
This is my son Mark. He's 19 years old and he's autistic.